what's up everyone? Welcome to my review for Steven Spielberg's Lincoln, a movie I was really looking forward to seeing. And oh wait, no, that's right, I didn't get to go see Lincoln because my theater decided, you know what, 4 of their little theater screen projectors needed to have Twilight in it, and they couldn't fit Lincoln in their theater. So I went to go see the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. Let's review it. I mean, I didn't review the last one, didn't review the third one. I reviewed kind of the second one, I think, and I didn't review the first one, but it's the final one. It's the 5th movie of the Twilight series. Let's talk about the story. The story for Breaking Dawn Part 2 takes place, of course, after Part 1, right after Part 1, and actually, you know what? I'm going to explain this story like they talk in this freaking movie, every character, okay? Ready? Here we go. Alright, so the story for Breaking Dawn Part 2 takes place right after Part 1, and the story here follows Bella in the beginning. She's a vampire because Edward had to change her because she was giving birth, and we all know birth hurts, and she was gonna die from birth, but not like regular die where she just like, no, it's more like, because she was actually like getting fed on by this baby because she's half vampire, half human, and she was like getting drained and stuff. She looked like a Holocaust victim, and I just slipped there. Actually, she looked like Skeletor if he went on a diet, and she was dying. So Edward was like, "I love you, Bella," and now she's a vampire. And in the beginning of this film, she's just doing her vampire thing. She's getting used to being a vampire, eating stuff, killing humans, but she doesn't do that. She almost kills a human though. And she jumps around, runs around, makes out with Edward. She's having a good time with Edward's family. Just blah blah blah. Jacob's there. He takes off his shirt. Everybody's like, ooh, and it's a good time until the Volturi come. The Volturi are the ancient race of gay vampires that hate everything because they're gay, and so they're vampires. They're vampires, and they hate everything, and they hate this half human, half vampire girl, Renesmee, the daughter of Bella and Edward, and they want them to explain what's going on, why the hell this thing exists and stuff. And of course the Volturi are evil. They decapitate like 500 people in this friggin' movie, and it's pretty evil. I mean, the Volturi are pretty evil, and they're all like, we're totally gay and hate everything. And now the Cullens have to go and like assemble a Avengers type group of vampires and go after and fight off the freaking Volturi, and the ending is a big mashup of gay vampires and fucking wolves hitting each other, and that's the story. Yeah, that's pretty much the story. I mean, there is some more stuff here and there. Like, I didn't explain that one of the girls of the Cullen family has a vision ability that can see when things are gonna be bad in the future, I guess, and that's how they figure out, but still, it doesn't matter. The story here is dumb as hell, like it always is, and I know people are gonna watch this and go, how dare you say that, and some people are gonna be like, hey, no shit, Gore, and it is. It's just a dumb fucking story with a bunch of unlikable characters, and I will admit this, the acting is a tad bit better from the movies I've seen. I've seen only half of the last one, and I've seen New Moon and Twilight. I never saw Eclipse. Didn't see any of it. I don't even know what it's about. And in this film, the acting is much better. First of all, Bella is much more likable character. Not saying much. She's still not that likable, but she's more, physical with her role. She'll actually beat bitches up. She'll screw some stuff up. And, she actually starts to emote sometimes. She's not always like, I'm Bella, and I'm lonely, and I hate, no one likes me, or what fucking bullshit she did in the last movies. She's actually a little bit better in this. Robert Pattinson is okay. Taylor Lautner is alright. They do okay jobs, considering how bad they were in the other movies, definitely. And the rest of the cast does a decent job with what they have. And of course, I love Michael Sheen. I have always liked Michael Sheen in these movies. He plays, of course, the leader of the Volturi, and he's the big bad gay dude in the Volturi, and I thought he was great, and he's always like just chewing the scenery, even when there's barely any scenery. The chew, he's just all the scenery, and there's a part in this movie that he just starts laughing for no reason. He's just like, I'm like, fuck. fuck yes, I love Michael Sheen. I love him. He can be either serious or he can just be goofy. I mean, watch Tron Legacy. He can be exactly like this character in other movies. Or watch The Damned United, where he can actually be serious. You know, he's a great actor. I love him. I love him in this series. He knows it's silly, and he just goes for the silly, and I love it. The rest of the actors do an okay job, even though there's a lot of bad ones here and there. But for the most part, everybody is better, but not by much. The acting is a little better, but what is not better is the script. There is so many horrible, horrible lines in this film. Horrible. I mean, you know what? The whole script is bad. I mean, they try to do some humor here and there, like jokes, and they just fall flat. There's a whole part where one character calls one character Nessie, and another character hates it because, you called my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster, and it was like, hi. I'm like, fuck all you, that isn't funny. Go watch Ted. There's dick jokes, okay, that's funny. And yeah, it's just stupid. Like, the humor's not good, the dialogue itself isn't good, all the characters are still not likable. Even though the acting's a little better, they're still not really likable. Even Bella, even though I said she's a little bit more likable, still, you know, she was really unlikable. And this is likable. She's about right here. She's almost likable, but she's still not likable. And everybody's just not, you know, likable. There's no great dialogue here. And it's really boring film, too. A lot of it's just like Edward and Bella, like, I love you, I love you. Yeah, I know you fucking love each other. Why don't you show it a little bit more than just staring at each other and being fucking emotionless throughout the entire film? Why don't you show it a little bit? Show some affection. Not, oh, I love you. Like, that's it. That's all you can do? That's all you can do. Just say I love you and then kiss each other. That's how you show emotion in this world. That's it. Okay. Fuck you. Alright? Fuck you, Twilight. Oh, God. But this movie was very boring. It really was. It was a lot of just that shit and maybe some dialogue between some of the new vampires that they show off. And most of them are just forgettable, or some of them are kind of cool but then get forgot about completely. There's one character in this played by Joe Anderson, who I thought was great in the film, but he was barely in it. And there's a part where he just comes in, says something to Bella, leaves, and that's it. That's the last time you see him. I'm like, where the fuck did he go? Like, well, I didn't even know his name, and I liked him. He was more likable than Bella, or fuck. And I just, he was just gone. I was like, wow, okay, one of the most likable characters, and he's gone. So yeah, it's just a bad script. Alright, not terrible acting. Mostly just blah acting, a bad story, just unlikable characters. The only thing I could say was actually entertaining, and I thought this was the best one I've seen, which does not make, you know, it doesn't even mean anything really, is the action. There is a whole 15-minute scene at the end that is fucking badass. I have to admit, it's really badass, where just all the wolves and all the vampires, all those Voltrons, whatever the fuck they're called, just all just attack, and it's just cool as shit. Special effects still suck for the wolves, but it's still really cool. There's a whole scene where, in that action scene, where Jacob is a wolf and he's like running away from one dude, and he just like turns around, rips that dude's head off, and just keeps running. I was like, that's pretty badass. And there's other scenes here and there. There's a lot of decapitations in this film, and it's really violent, and it's really, really cool at the end. But then they do a little twist at the end of that action scene where I'm like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you, okay? You were taking risks. You were taking Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 risk, where you're just killing characters off, and then you do that shit. I'm like, oh, great. So, you know what? Overall, I think Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 is the best of them. It's pretty entertaining for the last 20 minutes, even though, you know, it has a twist that I just hated. Some of the characters are better. You know, acting is a little better, but for the most part, still boring as hell, very cheap looking at times, and overall, I just thought it was the best of the series, but thank God the series is over, because I couldn't stand it anymore. So I'm just going to give it a straight up, I'm going to give it an 18 out of 40. It's just not that great of a film. It's the best of them. That doesn't mean anything to me. So anyway, there you go. 18 out of 40, that's like, that translates into like a 4.5 out of 10 or something like that. You know, action was cool at the end, but that was about it. So anyway, there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and goodbye, I guess. I know you're going to dislike this video anyway, if you're a fucking 10-year-old girl, but whatever. Anyway, thank you and goodbye.